Hey everybody, Gavin Newsom here. I'm glad to be with you, at least virtually, to thank each and every one of you for your leadership. Thank you for the Silicon Valley Leadership Group's example, your faith and devotion to the issues of housing and transportation that you know better than anyone else are two sides of the same coin. I hope you recognize we're going big on transportation and relief this year. $11 billion just recently proposed in that relief to transit riders and commuters around the state. $9.1 billion proposed in additional forward-looking transportation infrastructure, bike and pedestrian projects, rail investments, and yes, high-speed rail. But we also have to focus as well, not just on the long term, but on the short-term strategies, including shortening commutes and making sure people live and work closer to home. And that's why we're focusing on new strategies around housing. More investment than ever before, $10 billion. Testament to that kind of investment that we advanced last year. Another $2 billion in this year's budget to build more housing near downtowns and infill areas, because you recognize, we all recognize, that we can no longer deny that, well, climate is housing. In order to advance our climate goals, we also recognize that we need to, well, cut transportation emissions, but we can't cut our transportation emissions without building millions and millions of new homes for Californians, again, where they live, or rather near where they work. And that's why we're investing in 2.5 million new homes. That's the goal in California over the next 8 years. And of course, the Bay Area is going to be a big part of that. But in order to advance that, we got to hold folks accountable, not just Sacramento. We got to hold local governments accountable like we've never done before. And that's why we created a brand new accountability unit within state government with real consequences for not meeting housing obligations. And we're similarly trying to model strategies on homelessness along those same lines. Accountability at all levels of government. Now, accountability also requires new strategies, new supports, new tools for local government. That's why we've cut red tape. 17, I know this doesn't get a lot of attention, but 17 CEQA reforms just since I've been in office, which is a little over 3 years, have been passed, pushing for new strategies, new investments in modular construction, and providing state land for free for affordable housing. The bottom line is we're leaning in. I know it's not enough on CEQA. I know we have more work to do on new modular construction and prefab, but we're leaning in this direction in ways we haven't in the past. And of course, that's on top of a massive homelessness package. You know, talk about $12 billion, coincidentally, $12 billion also invested in homelessness last year. 55,000 new homes and treatment beds for people coming off the streets in our latest proposal and strategy. Look, I can go on, forgive me for being a little circuitous here today, but I want you to know I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate your example. I appreciate you holding us to a higher level of accountability. And I just want you to know Sacramento's now with intention, focusing on these issues like we never have before. When we got here just a few years ago, there was no plan, there was no money, and there really wasn't the political resolve. Now we have plans, we have the resource, and we have political resolve with new accountability, new transparency, and new intentionality. And so I really am confident in the next few years we're going to start making demonstrable progress. But again, we can't do that without you, with your example, with your faith and devotion to the cause of improving the quality of life for millions and millions of people, not just in Silicon Valley, not just in the Bay Area, but all over our state. I look forward to working with each and every one of you. Again, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share a few words.